Okay, so let's get right into it. Scotland, a country that has, a pretty deep history of changing the world, has just dropped this incredibly ambitious plan for its future in tech. We're going to break down a huge new report from Scotland's Technology Council that outlines what they're calling Vision 2035, and it is nothing short of a tech moonshot. And this whole vision really kicks off with this powerful belief right here in the report's foreword. This isn't just talk. It's the central idea that Scotland's legacy of innovation isn't just something for the history books. It's a living force that can and absolutely should turbocharge the country's entire economy. Now, to really get why this new plan is such a big deal, you kind of have to understand the foundation it's built on. And let me tell you, Scotland's foundation is seriously impressive. I mean, think about it. From helping spearhead the Industrial Revolution to inventing technologies that literally define modern life, like the television and medical ultrasound, the track record is just wow. And that legacy is alive and well today. Right now, Scotland builds more satellites per person than any other country in Europe, and it's become this major hub for fintech and clean energy. And this isn't just about ancient history. We're talking about real economic power right now. In 2023 alone, the digital tech sector pumped a massive £6.7 billion into Scotland's economy. So that number tells you the engine is already fired up and running strong. But, and this is a big but, here's where the story gets really interesting. Despite that powerful engine, the report found several critical problems that are acting like brakes, slowing the whole thing down. They have a great name for them: system frictions. Which, of course, leads to the big question, right? If you've got this amazing history and a booming tech sector, what's actually getting in the way? What's stopping Scotland from truly hitting its full potential on the world stage? So, the council zeroed in on these four major roadblocks. First, talent. The problem isn't a lack of smart people, it's the speed it takes to hire them. Then there's leadership. There are plenty of great founders, but not enough execs who've actually scaled a company from, say, 50 million to 500 million. Next, markets. Public contracts, which should be a launchpad for new ideas, often end up being impossible hurdles. And finally, finance. The money for growth just isn't showing up at the right moment or at a big enough scale to really compete globally. So, in response to these exact problems, the council didn't just recommend a few small fixes. No way. They drew up an entirely new map, which is Vision 2035. And here it is. It's a formal plan to make Scotland a world leader by tackling those frictions head-on. The key phrases to remember here are disruptive strategy and deep collaboration. This is not about business as usual. It's about fundamentally rewiring the whole system. The vision itself stands on four huge pillars, four core ambitions. First up, and this is a big one, to make Scotland the #1 AI-ready nation in all of Europe. We're talking the data centers, the skills, the whole shebang. Second, they want to lean into Scotland's natural strengths and become a global leader in clean, low-cost energy. This means massive investment in everything from wind and hydro to new energy storage tech. The third ambition plays to a really unique strength, Scotland's integrated national health service. The idea is to use all that connected health data to pioneer the next wave of personalized preventative medicine. And finally, none of this is possible without a solid foundation. So the fourth ambition is all about building out the nuts and bolts, the advanced connectivity, the semiconductor capabilities, all the critical tech that will support this digital future. All right, so that's the what, those four massive ambitions. But the big question is how? How are they actually going to pull this off? Well, the report lays out four equally audacious strategies to get there, which they call, fittingly, moonshots. The first moonshot is all about fixing that finance friction, and I mean fixing it in a big way. The goal is to create a £100 billion national economic investment fund. And get this, not with government money, but by attracting huge global private investment to fund this national project. To tackle that leadership gap, the second moonshot is about creating a world-class support system for founders. This means things like a National Founders Institute, and even setting up a Scottish outpost right in the heart of Silicon Valley to help companies scale up globally. The third strategy is all about unlocking the genius coming out of Scotland's universities and the NHS. The goal here is to drastically speed up the process of turning amazing research into high-growth companies that are ready for investment. And the final strategy hits that market friction problem head on. It's basically a buy Scottish approach, using the massive buying power of the government and big companies to create that first crucial wave of customers for local innovators, giving them the launchpad they need to go global. But look, a vision this big with strategies called moonshots isn't going to be a walk in the park. And the report is really clear-eyed about the risks and the major challenges that have to be overcome to make any of this happen. And they don't pull any punches. We're talking about real-world problems here, from making sure the skills being taught actually match what companies need to building enough data centers and power infrastructure. But it's also about cultural stuff, like overcoming a risk-averse attitude that can kill true innovation. Every single one of these is a major hurdle. Ultimately, the report says success won't be measured by how many new programs get launched. It'll be measured by something much simpler. Did they reduce that friction? Can a company hire top talent in weeks instead of months? Can they win that first big local contract? Can they get growth funding without leaving the country? The vision is there. The strategy is incredibly bold. But the final question is the big one. In a fiercely competitive global race, can Scotland move fast enough to win?